podcast designed to educate, entertain, and inspire. I stand before you in an undisclosed location. That's why my camera's off, but nevertheless, I'm here. I'm your boy Roy, hanging out with my two best friends, my two besties. Guys, I ain't talking about you. I'm not talking for you. I'm not talking for you. I'm talking of you. So speak, gentlemen. I'm a little tongue tied.
He
I
sounds
got
so
gu-
serious.
I got guys with guns standing over me. You don't know how serious this
It
shit
sound
is.
like it.
Nah, he in a porty potty somewhere. Nah, let me stop. Let me stop. Let me stop. Y'all already know I'm Brandon. I'm the passionate one. I'm the one that when these topics get juicy, I get real serious.
How y'all doing? I'm Jay. Well, I'm Jeremy. I'm the cool and calm one. So
If
bear
you'd
with
have
us.
heard him
Welcome
before
to
we
Ugly
started,
Five. Yeah, I got an
hey,
image, bro. I got to uphold.
but once again, we get together every week. We share topics of things that's going on in the world, things that we think pique interest, and again, we're increasing our brand of education with the Gentlemen's Club. Once again, always and forever, this podcast is overseen by my man Roy Tiger Brown. I'm gonna keep shouting you out until our last broadcast, brother. But let's get with it because we got a lot going on this week. This Black History Month,
Oh
and
yes.
I'm let and show you how black and proud I am. I'm letting Brandon run the show tonight.
Yes, I definitely it's Black History Month, but as you all know, and most people have said it multiple times, Black History is every month, and Black History is American history. They try to erase it, and they trying to erase it now. So definitely, we gonna celebrate, and later on in the show, we gonna talk about some Black icons and some Black historical figures that meant something to each of us, and tie some personal connections to that. So hopefully y'all enjoy later on in the show. Right now, we're gonna talk about that the shocker over the weekend, the Luca and AD trade, which I was definitely stunned. I mean, I thought it was fake news. I'm like, AD for Luca? That ain't equivalent. That ain't equivalent. But LeBron strikes again, the franchise killer. Y'all.
No, he's the it's not me, it's you problem. Get rid of you.
what,
He
what y'all
definitely had he definitely had something to do with it.
what y'all think, fellas? Y'all think
So
Lakers
yeah,
they in the championship contention now?
I'll start with this one because I'm a Bron head. Um, for one, I do think LeBron has some say so in this trade, as he always do. Like he's the number one franchise person in the NBA. So he definitely made that call. Say yeah, send him away. Give me Luca. Um, but I think it's in that short run. I think Dallas gonna maybe be a better team with AD and Kyrie. They have some pieces. I think they can gel well. Defensively, they're going to be a lot better, right? And then if you put the ball, that means Kyrie Irving going to have the ball more in his hands, and you know what he can do with the ball. So also AD, he's efficient on offense too. It's going to be a good thing. As far as the Lakers, I don't know how it's going to work out. I know Lakers been balling lately, but they still need some more pieces before they can I guess make that real push. I think. I still think without having a true big, you can't get past Denver. You're not young enough to get past Oklahoma. So it's like I don't know if this is gonna work in that this year. You know what I'm saying? I think they're still missing a few more pieces, but it's exciting. It got my attention. I didn't believe it either until I actually seen it. I thought it was fake. So yeah.
What's your thoughts, Roy?
Um quick completely LeBron inspired. A couple of months ago, well, a couple of weeks ago, AD was saying that they needed another big man, and guess what? They got him. Be careful what you ask for. But Kyrie and AD teaming up together, that should be a great thing. And keep in mind, they also got gentlemen. I can't think of his name.
Was he a starter?
Caleb Martin, who used to be with the Heat.
Oh yeah.
He was with the
Okay, yeah, yeah.
76ers. He
I
went to
like
the
him.
Mavs too. So
I like him.
yes, he was a hitting gem. I think he went undrafted, and it was just great scouts found a great player. So
Yeah.
you got Caleb Martin, you got Kyrie Irving, you got AD. I think that makes for a good pot of gumbo.
Yeah,
Um,
I agree with y'all. I think defensively they're gonna be something to mess with. Cause
the
right
real
now
upset about that, the real upsetting thing about that, I'm sorry for cutting you off.
like
You know, Luca just purchased a $15 million house in Dallas right before he got traded. You know, that's how confident he was that he didn't even think, he was being the subject of trade. But yeah, he just put down 15 mil for a house that I guess he gonna have to sell for 13 just to get rid of it.
I would like to know what was going on. Cause how is Mark Cuban shocked? The coach is shocked, and Luca is shocked. So somebody made a decision that didn't involve them, and that's like I don't
Right, yeah.
understand.
Who
But
who's
did you?
behind all that?
Yeah.
But Mark Cuban is no longer the
Majority
majority
owner.
shareholder. Yeah,
Yeah.
majority owner. So I heard. I'm not sure how true it is, but I heard the fact that you and I and everybody talking about it means it's a big news because like basketball has been fading away. I think the NBA pushed this to get like this buzz around the league, right? Because I can't explain how do you send a 25-year-old international superstar,
Definitely.
25 years old,
Definitely.
to the most watched franchise in the NBA, right? For basically a like for like trade. I don't see how this happens without the NBA. Like, and also it went quietly. Like, how does it go so quietly, so quick in the at midnight? You know what I'm saying? Like, without the NBA like having some say so over it. I think it's a way to get the buzz back to the NBA and try to keep that momentum going. That's what I think.
Conspiracy theory. Okay. No, I'm really digging that. That kind of makes a lot of sense.
What that wasn't the only exciting trade to happen. You know, Jimmy Butler, he was fighting. He was fighting. You ain't gonna trade me. You ain't gonna trade me. But he got up out of there. He agreed to the Warriors. What y'all think of that trade?
That's gonna be some shit. That's gonna be some that man. That's just to watch out. Um, I'm curious to see what role Jimmy accepts with the Golden State Warriors because he's not the team leader. He's not the go-to guy. Is he cool with playing second or third fiddle in that position with that trade?
I think first off, I'm surprised he signed an extension, a 2-year extension with the Warriors, because he was reluctant to even like be traded over there. I'm not sure what changed to make him want to go, and I'm also surprised that the Warriors took him. Like Jimmy is a good player, but man, as far as his taxes and what he's been doing, like every team he went to, it always been some kind of commotion. So the fact that the Warriors take a chance on him means um, I'm pretty sure they don't care if he were to walk away or not because it would give them cap space as well doing a free agency. You know what I'm saying? He's worth what right now? 50 million his contract. So if he don't opt in, that mean they have this money they can get free agency, right?
Right.
But as far as the team, I think they're gonna use him as another playmaker for Curry, because there's one thing the Warriors lacking right now since they lost Poole, they lost all these playmakers, they lost Clay. They need somebody to like to help with the offense because you can't lean on Curry for too long. You know what I'm saying? He's getting older. You know what I'm saying? So I think it was a good move. I just want to see how it all pans out.
That was my thing when the trade went down for them. They need something because you watched the Warriors play last night against the Lakers. You saw what they did. They ganged up on Curry. He couldn't even get a layup. Like it was all over him because
Yeah,
nobody else on that team can really shoot or score.
they
I know
can't score.
Dray. I know Draymond Green think he Jordan 2.0, but that ain't the case. That ain't the case at all. But I think he will have that type of impact. He can spread the floor for Curry, you know, allow him to get off a little bit more easier. So I
Yeah, I
think
think
that's
I think he's another like scoring threat who can initiate the offense. You know what I'm saying? So it gives Curry a little bit of space.
Mm.
and Curry with space is a different animal. So it can work out. We got to see. Um, I know Butler. He's eager to play. He must have something to prove right now because the last couple years ain't looking good. So he must
Mhm.
prove himself in a way because I don't see nobody giving him a major deal after this contract. Unless he shows something different.
I think with Butler, he was trying to fight tooth and nail though. He was rejecting trades from multiple teams that in turn would have gave Heat more talent. I think. I think this was like his last hurrah to say "f you" to the Heat. Like, cause I believe in this trade they only got Andre Wiggins. I want to
They get
say.
Andrew Wiggins,
Oh,
Kyle
Yeah.
Anderson, and Davion Mitchell.
yeah. I think it was like his way of saying "f you" to the Heat. That's why he really agreed. Cause he was fighting them back and forth with other teams, denying trades to the Suns. Just fighting them back in tooth and nail. So I think it was more why he agreed to the Warriors. They can give the Heat less. I mean, what y'all think?
I mean, that's a
So
good point.
I
Go ahead,
I
Elroy.
would I wouldn't be so vindictive as to shit on the Heat. I would be thinking about my career and trying to win a championship.
This Jimmy Butler we talking about. We ain't talking about.
It's unfortunate, but I would hope he's more focused on getting the championship than he is, sticking it to the Miami Heat. He did leave a nice pardon letter. He spoke highly of the coach and the team and the time there. And it started out good. It started out great. And the first year he was there, I mean, I think they went to the finals. I think that was 2019. They went to the finals. Second year, they won the conference finals, I believe. So, at that point, it was just like it was downhill from there. Injuries, just a stroke of bad luck. And you would have thought somewhere in there was a championship waiting to be, unveiled to the Heat organization, another one to the Heat organization, but it just didn't pan out. And like I say, injuries, we expected a lot more out of Kyle Lowry. You know, it just didn't fall in our favor. But the Heat always find a way to bounce back. They got a gentleman on there. His name is Kal-El. I can't think of his last name. He also went undrafted, and he's very promising too. He's nice on the come up. The Heat know how to find those diamonds in the rough. Those people that go ignored. They really. There was a coach for Dallas. His name was Tom Landry, and Tom Landry would stand on the sidelines, and he always had his rolling papers, but a newspaper rolled up. He just had a good eye for talent, and Pat Riley seems. I mean, not Pat Riley. Yeah, Pat Riley seems to have that good eye to pick up that unsung talent. While
Mhm.
everybody's looking at these big names, he finds these diamonds in the rough that with time, care, polish, they can become something great.
Yeah, that's what
So
I
Elroy,
like.
wait, I have a question for Elroy. In Jamie's exit letter, did he mention anything about Pat Riley?
no, he didn't.
What's that?
How you
I
Oh,
mean,
bumping heads
okay.
with the Godfather?
man, you know what? Again, I would have took the loss. Pat Riley, I would have took the loss. I would have traded him to Detroit, or I'd have sat there in debt. Well, you can't suspend him indefinitely because that means you're holding on to him, and you killing yourself. But I'd have sent him to Detroit. I'd have buried him just to prove a point.
I believe Jimmy had a no trade
No
clause with him,
trade clause. Yeah.
so he has to agree to where
He
you
has to
send him.
approve it.
Yeah.
I'd have probably spited myself and just kept his ass on the bench and definitely
And pay him
suspended.
all that money to sit at home?
No,
Yeah.
and definitely suspended. He don't get paid.
Oh, and definitely okay. If you
Oh,
yeah
okay, okay.
yeah.
All his suspensions, the 7 game, the 2 game, indefinite, you don't get no pay, no pay at all. But you know what? I'm a follow Golden State for the rest of the season just to see what they do to see how he gels with the team. It's going to start out great. It always starts out great. Even the worst relationship starts out great. And I just want to
He,
see how it ends. I want to
they
see.
over toxic.
No, I'm serious. They always start out great. That's how you
Okay,
get together. You know,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you got the rose-colored glasses on, so to say. So I'm gonna watch and see how it unfolds.
Yeah.
And you know what? If he comes away with a championship, kudos to him. But I'm still gonna be a Heat fan. I'm gonna still rock with the Heat. But he was messing up the chemistry for the team, and I just hope he's happy. At the end of the day, I hope everybody's happy. There was one gentleman, I'm trying to find his name. Within the last 2 weeks, he was traded 5 times.
Struder.
So you know what I'm talking
Yes,
about.
yes. He was traded for a record in 24 hours, 5 times to 5 different teams.
Okay, Dennis Schroeder. Okay, there we
Yeah.
go. I was looking for his
Where is he
name.
at now?
He's in
Who?
Who got
Detroit.
him?
He's in Detroit.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Yeah.
I
Yeah, but
mean, you talking about being passed around. I mean, what was his value, his trade value anyway to begin with? That he, people was he like, okay, if you want him, you got to take your little brother with you.
everybody
Or
should know Dennis Struder because he got offered a contract when it was. This was maybe 4 or 5 years ago. He got offered a contract for 4 years, 84 million, and he declined it. And he ended up signing a contract for 1 year, 5 million.
oh, that's that dummy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
him.
yeah. So everybody should know Dennis Struder.
On that though, I kind of blame his agent, or maybe he had more of a say so, but the agent can't let that happen because he missing money as well. So I guess they thought his stock was too high, and it really
Five
wasn't. I don't know.
percent. The average agent gets 5% of the contract.
It's almost what $4 million if he would have signed that deal.
Yep.
A lot of money. A lot of money. What y'all what y'all think of the Bulls fire sale? Sending all these players away. And they looking to send more away.
I wish they wouldn't have took it, but I would have not liked to see Jack Levine in a Heat uniform.
That'd be nice. Yeah.
Yeah, y'all got a y'all got a squad out there.
But at the end of the day, I hope everybody's happy. I know they've been trying. There's been talks of trying to trade him for at least 2 seasons now. So they finally got rid of some bad rubbish.
I mean, hey, I don't know. I think Zach Levine was probably gonna be a good building piece for us. We really don't have no talent on the team right now.
What about the young gentleman that they just drafted? The French guy, I believe. I
I'm
think they're trying. I think the Bulls are basically in a rebuilding stage. I would have confirmed that if they'd have got rid of Ball, but they still have him, even after his numerous surgeries. They still have him, but other than that, it looks like they're in a rebuilding stage. Or basically, the Bulls been rebuilding since Jordan left.
nah since Rose got hurt. Yeah,
Yeah.
since
You know
Rose got
what?
hurt.
That's still the dumbest play to this day. I think it was. I don't know what it was, but they were up by a bunch, and the coach made the call to put him back in the game, and that's where he hurt himself. I and they still kept the coach because that was like the dumbest thing in the world. But teach his own. It happened. So you know, let's just move on. But yeah, Jimmy Butler. I'm definitely gonna keep an eye on Golden State to see how he gels with the team. You know, Draymond Green probably have to knock him in his head a couple of times. How he what's my man Poole? He had to he chin checked him in practice, get him in line. So yeah, he gonna be there. Say, hey, don't be fucking up. So here's the funny thing. I saw a video. Uh, the Heat were playing. I forgot who the Heat were playing. They were at home, and a fan happened to look on his phone and see that Jimmy Butler got traded, and Kevin Love and two other players were listening to him as he shouted it out. They didn't even wasn't even aware that it was going on, but it was going on during the game when that trade happened, and they were all shocked. They was like, "Damn." Talk about news right under your nose, It happened right there. It's a video. This fan giving them the conditions of what and who they're getting in return, and they're like, "Wow." And believe me, I know. the players are trained to ignore the fans.
Oh,
I
for
was
sure.
When I
Yeah.
was in Philly, I was second row at a Heat game, and there's Bam right in front of me, and I'm shouting like trying to get his attention, and I know he heard me, and he was like stone faced. He was just concentrating on the game. So I know that they're trained to ignore, especially away games.
I mean, you gotta focus in because fans will say some crazy stuff to you. Now, Russell Westbrook ain't trained for nothing. He'll hop in that. It seems like he'll hop in that in a minute. What you say?
Yeah.
By far, the worst disrespectful thing was Kevin Garnett telling Carmelo his wife pussy tastes like Honey Nut Cheerios.
Hey,
Carmelo was ready to see him outside.
I Amon Shumpert had a funny story about that. As Carmelo went in the back and waited by their team bus, and
Yes.
when Kevin Garnett came out, he gonna look at Carmelo was like over a basketball game.
It wasn't a basketball game. It's what you said.
Over there, helmet.
It's what you said, bro.
Hey, he said his voice got so high, it was like what?
Glass shattered. Ah!
But to move on to a little more serious note, we've had a lot of plane crashes happen in the past month here, and now we recently had a plane disappear. And my thinking with this is these are very rare incidents to occur, and for this all to happen basically over a month span is crazy. And I think conspiracy theory, theorists in me is saying something the government not telling you. Like, are we under attack? Like, is it something hacked? Is a system hacked? Because human error can't be this bad. I mean, Ronald Reagan Airport said 30 near misses in the past 27 years. So that's that's something that has happened, but that's less than one on average. So how does that happen for five consecutive events to happen? What's your thoughts on that?
Brandon, I didn't think of it like that. I didn't think
Mm-hmm.
of that maybe it can possibly be a hack.
Mm-hmm.
So if it is a hack, I'm pretty sure the government they won't say that. They won't send the country into panic because we have been hacked before on minor things. So it's likely that can be the case. I'm hoping not. Um, but it's crazy to think about. I swear I never thought that way. I don't even know what to say about that, about those numbers. And of course our next topic will move into DEIs and what he said about this. But um, to say you said 1 in a billion is
Yeah.
how is the rate of the accidents.
If you look up the probability of a plane crashing to each other or a plane crashing, period, the chances are like literally 1 in a billion
They
chance.
say it's safer to fly in a plane than it is to drive a car.
Exactly.
I've heard that for years. The technology out there, uh, even if let's say no radio contact, here's a little weird fact that I know of. On the left side of the plane, there's a light, one color, it's either red or blue, and on the other wing is either the red or blue. They don't both have both. It's one on each side. This tells you uh, that a plane is coming, obviously, and what side are they on. So that's like a visual aid out there. Even in the fog, you can see these lights. So with radars and flight patterns, because there's flight patterns for all these flights, and basically, have you ever looked out of a plane and saw a plane in the distance, not too far? I mean, there's a pattern that the plane's flying. They could be flying a little bit off to the left and a little bit lower than you. They won't be flying side by side. I've never seen that. So being hacked, I kind of believe it. And yeah, you're right. They wouldn't go out on camera and say, yeah, we've been hacked. because you got to show of force that you're unhackable. Because if you don't speak on it, it never happened.
And that's my thing though. People are not gonna know, so you're gonna continue to fire on these planes, and you could be that unfortunate plane that's picked in this terror attack. I'll call it that. But you're that unfortunate plane picked and going down. For instance, in Philly, the plane crash with the medical vac plane going up, and literally within minutes, it's knows that. So how nothing happened, like nothing, no information has been released with the black box. How does that happen? It took off fine, but within minutes, it knows that, and
That's
nobody has stories of that or nothing. So that's just crazy to me. Nothing. They have nothing released in the news to say this happened or something failed or nothing. They're just releasing nothing.
there's no follow up.
Yeah.
Even with the Washington, the Reagan Airport
Mm-hmm.
crash between the Black Hawk helicopter and incoming landing plane, you're not going to hear nothing about it. It's too military sensitive to say that a military helicopter got thrown off or was misled to think that everything was okay. Even with I still am baffled by that because there's lights on the plane, there's lights on the helicopter. You should have very well been able to see that.
Well, what if they're not in control? Like we talked in the movie Die Hard too. What if they're not in control and they're just having it planes meet and crash, showing a show of power, whatever.
It's very well possible. And I know I've told the story before, but I'm gonna tell it again. I want to say maybe 3 or 4 years ago, there was a water reclamation plant, water that people drink from and bathe from. It got hacked. There's a certain chemical that goes into the watering filtration or cleaning process. And the operator just happened to be watching the monitors and he saw a high level, whatever chemical it was, going into the water. And he went right into action and he shut everything down. And it turned out that we were, in fact, hacked by some hackers in Moscow, in Russia. So it's out there, the possibility. I mean, wars nowadays, I could be the command center in my house with just a Wi-Fi signal. I mean, flying drones, just hacking into databases and everything. The wars are being fought at desktops right now. It's all being done, behind a
Drones,
keyboard.
drones, cameras, computers everywhere. I didn't know
I
this.
mean, and the planes are software driven. They're not manually handled through the whole flight. At some point, it's put into an autopilot, and they're supposed to not fall asleep. It's not a Tesla. You don't fall asleep. You're supposed to stay awake, but yet it's still software driven. Software can be hacked. You can upload a program to do whatever at whatever time. So yeah, we just got to be and I don't want to say what might be starting all this. I don't want to speculate, but it's there. And as long as we keep poking the bear, they're going to keep poking back. There's a lot of things that go on that you won't see in the news. Now, I used to work for a military defense contractor, and I didn't sign no disclosure or anything. But I've still got to be vague about what happened. Uh, there was oh, I guess I can tell the story. It was on the news. There was next week y'all won't see me. A self-inflicted bullet to the
Boy.
head. No, seriously. Years ago, Japan had a nuclear reactor explode, and contaminants from Japan, a soccer ball, washed up on the California shore. That's just to show you the reach. So I was called in and said, "Hey Elroy, in a couple of days, I'm gonna have you look at this after it comes through decontamination." And I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, "What decontamination?" And then he told me the story. we had a sub in that area, and I guess it was infected, but you never heard about it in the news. You never heard about that sub in the news.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay, it's been decontaminated. I'm like, oh, I got to work on it. But, I was just like, what, whatever. But this just goes to show you there was never in the news. And my question is, and here I'm going running home to see it, looking on the computer, and there was nothing said about it. Where are those the people that was on that sub or on that boat? I got a piece of equipment back, but where were the inhabitants on that ship? Never spoken of on the news. So a lot goes on over our heads, and we're not even aware about it.
That's why I think it's like, I mean, they're using this as fuel to, uh, I guess, light the flame for the DEI attack. But to me, it doesn't equate. I I know for a fact the the FAA control center and having those jobs are stressful and they're very difficult to get into. Those are not,
Long hours.
yeah, that is not a job you can just walk up off the street with no training and be like, yeah, put me in control. No, no, no. You have to be highly qualified and highly trained to deal with that
So
for emergencies
another
and everything.
story about that. Sorry to cut you off, and I know this well because there was a point I worked for TSA. I worked for TSA for about 4 years. And we kind of you're around that airplane life, the pilots and all that, the FAA. We were there when all the power went out, and we had to search bags manually. Every bag. We usually have machines for that. So every bag. So a couple of days later, there was this flight control attendant or technician or whatever. He was being transferred somewhere that he didn't want to go to, and he set fire to one of the transformers just for spite. So that's why we ended up doing manual bag searches. Now this was all in the news. They heard about him setting the fire to the transporter, the transformer, because he didn't want to be transferred. But for us, it was physical bag. Every bag was a physical bag search. It was no imaging machines to look and see the contents. Every bag was an open bag, and it was hot that day. It was during the summertime too. So it's funny that story comes up, but yeah, I remember that. That was over 20 years ago, back in my day. But no, it's Hey,
Hey,
so what about Donald Trump's comments about the plane? That I think the one in Reagan again. He was at a press conference and they asked him was he going to visit a site. He said, "What? Go swimming?" Now, my name is Elroy, Mister Inappropriate Jokes Johnson. I wouldn't have said that. I
That's
wouldn't
one
have said
thing.
that.
That's one thing I don't like about. That's one of the main things I don't like about Trump, man. Like some of the things he say just be outrageous to say to say stuff like that. But I do want to push back on the DEI because I know in our community, like we get frightened by the word. And as I'm reading more about it, I don't think in our community we are the beneficiary of DEI. If you
no.
if you Google who benefit the most from it, you won't see our name under it. So and also isn't DEI like a it was a federal law, right? Is that
Yes.
correct? Like it was federally a law.
Mhm.
So in some sectors of I guess the work field, I do believe it shouldn't be there. Like I don't think it should be in the military, anything with like technology, stuff that like people out of state. I don't think it should be there. I think that kind of system should be merit based. So I think there's different sectors I will believe that okay, I can see the beneficiary of having the for instance like politics, politicians, so you don't want to out certain groups or ethnic or creed because of their race, right? So in certain sectors I say yes, but then some I say no. It's just
I
how I feel.
I think I think people miss the purpose of DEI. The purpose of DEI is not affirmative action. I know a lot of people tied to that, but it's not that. It's really to diversify and include people that are qualified. People they go through
I'm not sure it's my
I think it's him. He's frozen.
oh, it's him. Yeah, he froze it.
Yeah, but from my understanding, DEI, I think it means diversity. Hey, Brandon, you
Yeah.
know the acronym for DEI, what it stands for?
diversity and
Diversion,
inclusion, diversity, equity, and inclusion.
equity,
There you
inclusion.
go.
Yeah.
So
Um,
it's not just
but
for race; it's
Yeah.
for the handicap. You know, people
yeah,
with disabilities, and I don't know. He's cleaning house. He's not just going after them. So you heard about the trying to reduce the government staff force. Now I know a lady that works at IRS. She received a letter, and it basically said by not returning this letter, you are saying that you want to take the early retirement. So if some people get mail, and I'm kind of bad at it sometimes, and it piles up, and I'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, I got a check. Oh, damn, it expired. I'm trying to get better with that. But no, if you're a government worker, you received that letter in the mail, you had to respond to it saying, no, I don't want to retire, or yes, I'll take that package. But for you not to return it was you saying, yes, I want to be one of the people that you let go early to retire early. Why he thinks we need to reduce the government force, I don't understand. Um, just like we were talking with the FAA traffic controllers, they're understaffed and overworked. They need more people. So
well, I just want to comment on that DEI stuff with the police or fire chief that was in California fighting those wildfires. They were talking about her real like she wasn't qualified, but of her test that she took out of 16,000 applicants, she was ranked 50 out of 16,000. So she's qualified. But DEI and merit-based system will never it can never equate because with a merit-based system you get people like the Fox News anchor becoming Defense Secretary of the United States. And
yes,
that doesn't that's the problem with
not qualified
merit-based
individuals.
it,
He's
a merit-based system. They don't honor it because you're not going off of merit and qualifications. You're going off of who you know, who thinks like you, and who I can control, and that is not okay. That's the problem with
preach,
the
Brandon,
that's the
preach.
problem that's the problem
You
with
hit it right on the
merit-based
head.
that's the problem with merit-based system. We're supposed to trust that you're going to be honest and have morals in your decision. And a lot of people, employees, whether the president of the United States, whether the Joe Smo running a local shop, you don't have the merit-based system because you're not honorable. That's the problem, and that's the problem my ancestors dealt with. Since we're talking about Black history, we'll get into that another thing. But that's the problem my ancestors dealt with. That's the problem we're gonna have to deal with now, going to this merit-based system. We work 10 times harder to get the same opportunities. It's just like when you talk about the inflation. Inflation goes up, you gotta pay 10 times the price for the same item. That's the job market for us minorities in this country. You gotta work 10 times hard just to get the same opportunity. When the other person, just because they know him, or just because they friends with him, or just because they in the family, they get the job.
Yeah.
That's the problem I take with that. And DEI may not be all the way the best option, but it wasn't to just say you gotta hire this person. It was to still look at their qualifications, still look at who they are, their abilities, their skills, and then determine if they're best for the job. Don't just look at your person you know. And that's the problem I take with merit-based systems. And I don't trust it. That's my problem because you have perfect examples of what the president just did, appointing a Fox News anchor to be Defense Secretary of the United States, completely unqualified. Whether he has the military experience or not, completely unqualified. That's just my opinion.
No, I agree
Yes,
with
I
you.
don't.
The gentleman that he's suggesting to head the FBI, no qualifications. Whatever he has Elon Musk for, I forgot what it was. He has no qualifications behind that. He's just hiring his buddies.
So let me just push it back. First off, on the Elon Musk, I wouldn't say he not qualified. I don't think he should be there, but I wouldn't say he not qualified to run like that department in the business matter. Like the thing is, what Trump trying to have Elon do, I think he's qualified for that. Still, I don't think he should be there 'cause he's not a politician. So he don't know the ways of the law. So he using business tactics for the government agency. And I don't think it should be the same. But to push back on DEI, from it's just that I don't think anyone has an answer. It's always gonna be somebody who falls short. And from my experience, right, like everybody that I know, no matter the creed, color, where they come from, when they from my experience, everybody I know who work hard have something, right? I can't go and reach out to somebody and like, hey, do you feel like DEI helps you or hurt you? And they say it hurt me or it didn't. I can't experience that. So when people bring it up to me, I can't relate, right? So it just me maybe being ignorant about it, but from my experience, it's like I don't know. So I don't really touch base on that subject because I can't bring it to my word. I don't understand it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. My point of view ain't to attack yours. It's just
No,
saying
no.
what DEI is. Because to me, people make DEI seems unqualified. They say DEI equals die. That's what that phrase that go around, and it's not true. It's
For a
not true.
dyslexic person, it's true.
That's
If you
Roy, ladies.
dyslexic,
That's Roy. That's Roy, ladies. We in no way. Nah, but
no, DEI does not spell die. It spells day. I don't know, but if they wanted
uh,
it to spell die, then it's a diversity, inclusion, and equal opportunity, whatever. I'm sorry,
but
I'm being Captain Grammar right here.
but for me, DEI still says there's qualified people. Don't just look at them because they're your friends or they look like you. There's other people over here that's qualified too. Just like
Yeah.
in the '60s, we was skilled labor. Late '50s and early '60s, we had the skilled labor. Us, people who look like us, we was all skilled labor, but we weren't getting the jobs. We weren't getting the jobs. That's the problem. That's the problem. That's the problem that people don't know or don't actually see. Like we have skilled laborers
Hey,
out here
Brandon,
with engineers and everything.
they call that the good old boys club when they hire their own and take care of their own, regardless of their skill set. They bring them in. We call it the good old boy club.
But
Yeah.
that's my thing. You can't say merit based system if you're not gonna go off of the merit. Like people are earned. Like ancestors work hard, grandfathers have worked hard, fathers have worked hard, sons have worked hard. Like people work hard. Now I know there's a lot of lazy individuals, but it ain't the majority. Cause guess what? I was raised. You don't work, you don't eat.
they
So
they be named James.
that's what I'm saying. You don't work, you don't eat. Like it's like you gotta put in the effort. You want to be making syrup sandwiches all your life? Well, you gotta work. You gotta work. So that's what I'm raised on. You gotta work. Like you can't be lazy. So I know a lot of people are gonna say that this lazy mentality out here, but that don't exist because people, uh, work hard. There's black politicians, there's black lawyers out here. They tell you right now, the, the hours they put in school, in college, sleepless nights, studying until 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. Like this ain't no game out here for people like us. Like, cause you
No,
gotta.
and even after the fact, even after they got out of school, the lawyers they got to study cases. They're up like late night reviewing records, fact checking all that. I gotta be. I sit down every Sunday to look at my work calendar to see what I gotta prepare for.
That's what I'm saying. You gotta be prepared. I and we'll talk about this when we discuss our icons. But there's a saying out there: it's not enough to be equal. You have to be better. And I'll discuss who said that when we get to our black icons that mean something to us. But that's what it always has to be. I'm not trying to be your equal. I'm trying to be better.
Tell him, James. I'm sorry. That's a joke amongst us. I don't. I'm a quit. I'm trying to be serious. So we're gonna move on and talk about Donald Trump executing his tariffs against Mexico and Canada and China. Well, as he promised, he did impose tariffs against these three countries, but he later rescinded on the ones from China. Mexico and Canada. Basically, and to me, it seemed like a ploy to get what he wanted, and that was security at the border. I think that was his plan all along. Um, because imposing tariffs, and I dug deep to impose tariffs on Mexico and Canada. You wouldn't believe what what we would be paying for as if they raise tariffs against us. I mean, most of our fruits and vegetables come from Mexico. They have the climate, the environment to grow, tomatoes, strawberries, pineapples. It's over $100 billion business importing goods from Mexico. And with Canada, we get a lot of our beef from Canada. We get lots of oils, whether it be canola oil or actual crude oil. We get all kind of resources from Canada. If Trump would have really been standing 10 toes down to impose them tariffs, we you see somebody stole over $10,000 or $100,000 worth of eggs a couple of days ago. That's how bad it is. I mean, that's because of the bird flu. But just imagine tariffs going off on your everyday produce, your cucumbers, your strawberries, avocados. Uh, I gave you a fun fact a couple of weeks ago that during the Super Bowl weekend, the avocado is the most used import that we use because everybody's getting their guacamole on. Just imagine the prices. I mean, the prices now are high. They went up in the last couple of years. But imagine had those tariffs been imposed, it would be chaos. It would be utter chaos. Uh, Crime would increase because if you can't afford it and you need to get it for your family, you're gonna get it one way or another to put your food on the table. So in the end, he put the tariffs on hold to get guards on the borders to curb illegal, immigration, sneaking into our country. And he says to stop, drugs from coming in. But they don't just carry, kilos on their back over the border. They're coming in. They're coming in on trucks. They come in on planes. They come in on boats. I mean, again, we was talking about that show, Contraband at the Border. You would see all the ingenious ways they try to hide cocaine, weed, methamphetamines, and on all those drugs and bring them into the country. So putting those guards, you might stop the people from sneaking over the border, but it's not going to stop the drugs.
Well, that's our thing. Drugs is too big of a business. They ain't gonna. They ain't stopping that. They
Well,
ain't
and,
stopping
and
that.
and I'm not saying that to allude that the government is still in cahoots with the drugs coming over. I'm not going to say that because we see the way they try to hide it. They bring it in on boats, or some lady got keys strapped to her stomach and she gets on the plane or whatever, or it just real ingenious ways. Like you say, you watch this show, you see all the ingenious ways they have of smuggling uh, drugs into the country. So I'm not saying they're still not in cahoots. I'm not saying they're not in cahoots, but there's still drugs being brought in under the cover. And as well, firearms and ammunition is a hot commodity in Mexico. It's not readily available. So what they have going into Mexico at the borders, they have checks that you can only declare so much money because that's money is from the drugs that's been sold and they're just bringing it back to the cartels. You can only declare so much, and you can only and definitely no firearms crossing the border. And you find this stuff again on the show. contraband at the border. But I didn't realize that, and it's kind of ingenious because everybody puts their focus on Mexico, that Canada is a way to sneak into the United States as well.
Well, I just want to think when you say government, like I think the government is involved because otherwise, how do these cartels get tanks? They literally have tanks. They have weaponry that outweighs the police force and the military force. So that's my
Now,
they.
Brandon, I'm finna call bullshit on you because I ain't heard about nobody having no damn tanks.
They got tanks. They
They
got
might have
tanks.
armor. They might
No,
have
they
armor
have
plated trucks.
they have tanks, bro. They have tanks and submarines and subs.
Look, hey, look it up.
Look
Look
it
it
up.
up.
They got
All
subs too.
right, all
Look it up.
right.
Submarines and tanks.
Because I'm telling you, how does that happen though? You've seen the videos, they got counter surveillance. They can tell when they got a drone above them. Like, that's like, they getting that technology from somewhere and somebody providing it to
Okay, but no,
I wouldn't.
I didn't know about the tanks. I really
Yeah.
didn't.
See, I
them.
wouldn't. I wouldn't fully put it on the government, but for sure, somebody in the government is playing ball.
You
Somebody's
know
playing
what?
ball for sure.
You have black market arms dealers, so
Hmm.
it can't necessarily be from the government if you're willing to pay, pay a pretty penny. The three P's. Then yeah, you're gonna get a hold of whatever you want, but I
Yeah.
can't see our government supplying them with tanks. Because basically you're giving a death sentence to any armed troop on the border. Well, the border there, that weaponry can be easily turned on them. We trained
Yeah.
Osama bin Laden. We trained Osama bin Laden. We supplied him with weaponry to uh to take out the Russians. We taught him. He came up with the idea of using a rocket launcher as a surface to air missile and taking out helicopters. We provided him with all that aid just so we could wipe our hands clean of any wrongdoing. We wanted our big bully taken care of, so we paid somebody else to do it. And look what came with that.
That's what
One of
I.
the biggest
You
terrorist masterminds.
you just provided proof to the point. So they
But
trained
I
him.
don't think I can't fathom the government giving up tanks. That's the part I'm stuck on. I can't see them giving up tanks.
Well, I don't know if our government gave it to them, but some government is
Right,
giving
but I'm
it to
saying
them.
there's black market arms dealers, and I'm not disputing the fact, but sometimes you be coming with some, oh yeah, Hulk Hogan got three arms, and you will argue us down that motherfucker got three 24-inch pythons. But no, I didn't see anything good coming out of those tariffs being imposed. I was thinking the worst. I was thinking uh, how it would affect us, the natural consumer, if those tariffs had been opposed. Because, like you say, if the prices go up for importing, then the price is going to go up at the store.
A lot of people didn't understand that. They thought they. I heard or I saw a video where a guy literally thought the country is gonna pay for the increase in price here.
Nah,
No, it don't work that
we
way.
all consumers.
And it was literally explained to him when you buy a product or you sell a product to me for $15, but I charge you $20, or I buy the product from you, or you charge me $20 to buy the product, you're gonna raise your price to offset the value. You gotta make a profit. So those countries, you increase the price for them, they gonna increase the price for us so they can make a profit.
So during this hurricane season where Florida was really impacted, uh, a lot of their orange trees got damaged. Go to the store right now. I usually keep a jug of orange juice in there. I went in there the other day, $10. And it's usually like
Damn,
$5 or $6. It's
damn,
$10.
damn.
But you got to ask yourself, how bad do I want this orange juice? I mean, the price didn't scare me. If I want orange juice, I want orange juice. I'm not gonna like it, but I'm definitely not gonna waste it, and I'm definitely not sharing.
Yeah.
Man, I squeeze
it,
some orange
it,
juice before I
it
pay some
ten
damn
dollars.
$10.
ten
I
dollars
squeeze.
for I don't. It's not a gallon. I think it's like 59 ounces.
Yeah, I'm squeezing orange juice.
Yeah.
I ain't paying no damn 10, man.
But
So
no,
are
at the
you
end of the
guys
day,
saying
go ahead.
that you guys think the tariffs are bad, or how he's using it is bad? Because I think
Well,
the idea behind it is a good thing. It's just I think he overusing it. He's doing these extreme numbers, and that's going to affect us, like you say, the consumers. But every country has its tariffs on their goods. Every single country. There's no country who don't oppose tariffs. None.
they on eventually a country's gonna call his bluff because right now he's using it as a business tactic.
Like I
Right
said, he
now,
rescinded it against Canada and Mexico.
yeah, he's using it as a business tactic to do what they or for them to do what he wants them to do, like bringing 10,000 soldiers to the border to help support the border. He's using it as a business tactic. But somebody or one country he tries this with is gonna call his bluff. They're not gonna agree to his terms. They're gonna, hey, you want to raise tariffs? I'm gonna raise tariffs too. They're gonna go back and forth.
Well,
Eventually,
they're still imposed in China, and China imports a lot of goods from us. I mean, manufacturing alone, the fashions you're wearing right now, it's a good chance it was made in China, cheap labor. Um, we get frozen fruit from them. I mean, we're not frozen fruit, but frozen fish from them. And weirdly, I saw a video, and God, I hope it's not true. They were taking, I don't know, I ain't gonna say deflated chicken, but it was basically they was filling this chicken full of something to make it bigger, and it was just going down an assembly line to fill this chicken up. I pray to God it's one of them AI videos, but it didn't look like it. I'm real
hey,
skeptic about getting food from imported from China.
hey, Jeremy. Hulk Hogan has 3 arms.
Yeah, I know, right? You just said that.
When I find that video, I'm gonna share it with you. I'm gonna share it with
Nah, I'm messing. I'm messing.
you. Okay, brother. But no, you, I don't trust the quality of any foods coming from China, and it's not to be racist, but it's a sweatshop mentality there. So we don't know the quality is going, and how are they getting over here? Are they coming on those freight containers, those ships? I mean, so that means they're sitting there. What are they being coated with something to be preserved? I mean, there's a lot to think about there.
Do you trust that less than you trust India sending medicine over there?
The medicine we get from over there, which don't, huh?
They send medicine from over there. There's
Oh,
pharmaceutical companies in India. So you
yeah.
trust that
It,
less?
oh, I was
Because
talking about China, but if you want to jump to countries, okay, they some.
no, I'm just saying. I'm just
I'm
saying.
glad you stopped me.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Because we've been to India. Well, I haven't at least.
I've heard
But
stories.
so that's what I'm saying. We know some horrible practices, but I mean, hey,
I
you
want to
trust that?
believe. I want to believe that the stuff that I get here is bottled here in the United States of America. I really hope
Most of the
so.
things, most things you get as far as produce is not from America. We import
Oh
most of that.
no, we're talking about medicine.
Even medicine, like we import a lot of that stuff, and a lot of it. Yeah, for sure.
I need to jump into the fountain of youth because I just don't want to drink that.
Yeah.
I'll take a sip from there if I ain't got to take another pill in my life. I mean, because I want to believe, like right now in front of me, I got nature's way, nature's made vitamin C gummies. I want to believe it's made here, but then again, I've been to Milwaukee, I mean Green Bay, and that pharmaceutical place, not the cleanest of places I've been to. We've all took a trip up there once or twice.
Yeah.
I ain't saying no names. I'm being nice and respectful. But yeah, again, this is just the tip of the iceberg of what he has planned. I'm sure, you know, every day, I'm reading the news, I'm seeing either another executive order or something that he has planned. Now, okay, real quick, and I hope I'm not putting you guys on the spot. He just passed an executive bill that says that transgender that's converted to females that were originally males cannot participate in female sports. How do you feel about that?
I fully support that. I'm sorry. And I know, hey,
No, don't be
you be mad.
sorry. That's just
You be
like
mad.
saying, that's
I
just like
fully
saying,
support. Nah, but I'm gonna say I fully support that because I don't think it's fair. And we talking about it's like if a man just hop over to the WNBA, he gonna be a god. Like he gonna be a god. Like for real. And
Dewana
I just
man.
So what you saying, Brandon?
for
What
real.
you saying,
I
man?
just
What
I
you
don't
saying?
think that's
Women
right.
can't play?
What you saying, Brandon?
we look.
Ladies and
I'm
gentlemen,
sorry. I don't want to
the
turn.
views of Brandon is not the
I don't
same
want to
as
turn this
my.
into a gender. I don't want to turn this into a gender thing. But men are built different than women, and we can
Yeah,
grow
I agree.
muscle at a faster rate than you.
But part
And
of the
our bone.
transgender process is taking estrogen pills to reduce the testosterone. No, I hear what you're saying, and that's just like me. Tomorrow, just because I can't, I'm gonna tell you the real reason I can't hang out with you guys. I got a karate tournament. It's a bunch of 5 years old. I recognize myself as a 5 year old. I'm gonna go kick some ass tomorrow. I'm walking away with the trophy.
It, that proves my point. That proves my point. You physically dominate. You physically dominate. But
Look,
that's
I'm
what
having
I.
a couple of Long Islands before I go there. I don't get no fuck, no practice. I ain't stretching or nothing.
But that's what I mean. And I don't. Riley Gaines, she's an Olympic swimmer. I don't like her at all. Her views, her political views, and all that. Just her thoughts. I don't like her at all. But she is good at swimming. She deserved to win, not be second place to a transgender or whatever you want to call it, or respectfully. But I don't think that's right. He was last in the men's competition, and he switched to the women's and became the best in the world. That's not right to me. Or at least they should have their own league. Put it that way. Like women have their league. Let's make it competitive. You go against people like you, and there you go. But don't put it with women where you have an advantage. Because regardless if you take testosterone pills or pills that reduce testosterone, you can still grow muscles at a faster rate, your bone density, everything. That stuff is that's a real thing. That's a real thing. They was they was mad at a lady. She had a condition. The Olympic boxer. She had a condition. She was actually born a woman. She had a condition where she was able to reduce testosterone at a faster rate. And you saw what happened. She damn near killed a boxer. And they were making it seem like she was one of the transgender, and it wasn't the case. She was actually
That's
born a woman.
that's an anomaly right there. That's
Yeah.
a real rare case right there. But actually, Brandon, I agree with you too. I don't think it's fair for trans. Maybe they should start a transgender league
That's what I'm saying.
if that's what you if that's what you want to do. Uh, it doesn't it doesn't make the sport fun. Just like you say, if you used to put a male, well, a male in the NBA, it would just be what is he gonna score tonight? 60 or 50, you know.
No, hey,
He's
no
gonna
offense.
he's gonna be dunking like crazy because the rim's a little lower.
No offense to the WNBA players. Y'all got skill
No,
too.
no offense to the women in WNBA. No, they're great for for their abilities, their ability level. And I'm not saying that they have. I'm not trying to minimize their playing skills. It's very entertaining. Again, the viewership that's gone up in the WNBA and decreased in NBA speaks for itself. But yeah, you you put a imagine putting LeBron there or let's put Jimmy Butler in there because I just want him to start some shit elsewhere. Put him in in the WNBA.
Nah, you don't even need to go that high. Just put Dennis Schroeder there and watch him become a 30, 40 point scorer.
after after getting traded 5 times.
Just being real. I know, Jeremy, we keep cutting you off, but
No, I didn't say anything. Like I really thought Arrow was gonna say the opposite. I thought he was like okay with transgenders joining like the women's sports. So I'm
No,
surprised that he actually agreed. I
just
really
like
did.
just like I don't agree with girls joining the Boy Scouts. The reason they're joining the Boy Scouts is because there's certain activities that's not being provided by the Girl Scouts. So when you have girls join the Boy Scouts, then all of a sudden, you can't do this, you can't say that. Why don't you just provide these activities in the Girl Scouts for girls that just don't want to sew, that want to, axe throw or fish or whatever they want to do, instead of taking uh the pureness, if you want to say, of the Boy Scouts away. Because now, hey, we can't do this. It'd be offensive to the girls that want to join the Boy Scouts.
Arrow,
No, they shouldn't.
if you can you expound on that? I never was I wasn't a Boy Scout. So what activities does the boys do that the girls couldn't do?
I mean, fishing, starting fires, camp. They don't camp like the guys do. When they camp, it's a whole different thing. They're in lodge camping. Guys do outdoor camping. Girl Scouts don't do that. There, I don't have the full list right in front of me, Jeremy, but there's things
Mm.
that some girls are tomboys, at birth, and then they blossom into to girly girls. But at that time, they want to play in the mud, they want to get dirty, they want to do things too. That's not, you know, uh, again, we're putting a stereotype on a gender, females. Oh, we're going to teach you how to cook and sew and clean. No, I want to know how to start fires. I want to know how to build, teepees and fish and hunt and know
yeah.
what berries to eat and what leaves not to touch. I think that should be offered in the Girl Scouts. You shouldn't have to invade the Boy Scouts to learn that stuff.
I agree.
And Roy, I want to apologize to you because I thought you was finna say Girl Scouts can use urinals like the Boy Scouts. No, but I thought you were finna say something crazy.
I want to write my name in the snow too.
I thought you were finna say something. I apologize, Roy. My assumptions. My assumptions.
So with that, I want to make an announcement. I am a charter member of the Ku Klux Klan. I went through a lot of legal battles to join, but I just got my membership in the mail.
Do they have they seen you?
Uncle Ruckus?
What's that skit from David Chappelle? No, I would never join a bigoted organization as the Klan, but I just thought that would be funny. But I'm trying to be serious this episode. I really am. I'm trying. There's some jokes I wanted to tell that I'll probably tell you guys off camera. But I mean, I'm really this episode. We've been talking about this for a few weeks now, and what we wanted to do, and surrounding Black History. So I really felt that I needed to take a backseat and let you kind of take the lead for this episode so that this episode could be taken more seriously. I realize I am a joker, and sometimes, see, just like you said, I was expecting you to say this. I do have my serious moments, and I'm really trying to make this episode as serious as possible. White power.
well, well, I think that's a good segue to discuss the three black historical figures or icons or
Or
you
just
know
people that we
people.
Just people.
admire.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
No, it doesn't have to be famous. And I'll explain why later. But so what we're gonna do, we're gonna go around in a circle. So the concept was, Brandon, I'm sorry for stealing your thunder, was
No,
that
y'all good.
we discussed that we were going to choose 3 people. At first, it was going to be like, hey, we got to pick somebody for medicine, politics, and sports, or
Yeah.
entertainment. But I'm like, know what? I want it to resonate with you. I want to see the passion. Again, I don't want it to be like a school assignment. My favorite hero is Dr. Martin Luther King. I don't want I want it to come from the heart. So we chose three people, three individuals that we felt made an impact on black people or on ourselves.
Yeah.
And we're just going to go around the table. We're going to do one at a time.
Okay.
So are we doing one person at a time, or one?
One person at a
Are we
time. So
doing?
I'm gonna do a
Okay,
person.
I got
Brandon do one. You do one. Then back in the circle for the second time. Then for the
you.
third
Okay,
time. We cool with
All
that?
right. That's
we
cool
cool.
with me.
Who wants to go first? Rock paper scissors.
I'll go first. I don't know how we gonna do rock paper scissors, but I'll go first.
Especially with my
One,
camera off. Go ahead.
one, one that meant something to me was Kadeem Harris. So, if you don't know him, he was Dwayne on A Different World. And the reason I admired him and look up and was very inspired by him is because his character played a teacher that was very passionate about people who look like us learning. And that's one of the, I said earlier in the show, it's not enough to be equal. We have to be better. That came from his character. And it always stuck with me as a kid. He played some more great characters. I felt he was recently in The Shy. If you watch that show, he's a plays a teacher in that as well. And to me, I've never met a teacher like that in real life, which is sad. But that was something that I looked up as a kid, and him as an actor is iconic to me because of that. He talks about the issues, the real issues, and how we hold ourselves accountable, and to be leaders and learn. And we have to be better as a community. And that's why I always loved him as an actor. Just admired him, his characters he's played, what he meant to us growing up, to me growing up as a kid in that show, Different World.
It's funny that you mentioned that part. I recently saw that clip on Facebook, not even a week or two ago.
Yeah, that's iconic for me. I love it. What you got, Jeremy?
Okay, I'll take off. So I always talk about. If you got to remember or recall, I speak about like family a lot and like our culture, our people sticking together, and I said that before. Each one teach one, right? So to me, the most unselfish thing you can do is help your kind, and I reached all the way back. I was trying to go back in the history of things, and I thought one good turning point was um, right before the civil rights happened, right? So during slavery, right? And I was reaching back, and I was seeing like what person best resembles what something I'm looking for, and I know we talk about men versus women all the time, but I gotta give love to Harriet Tubman, right? And the reason why I say her because the courage she showed, to actually like run away, run away and actually reach freedom, and then put herself, what I'm saying, in the background and actually come back to save others is just remarkable. And most people today would never even reach back even that far financially. So to put your life on the line to help your community like progress is like the ultimate respect. And one thing I didn't know is the reason why she actually ran away. If you guys don't know, she was hit in the head with like some type of iron, whatever, metallic thing, and it gave her, I think it's called narcolepsy. So if you know what that is, like you can basically fall asleep at any given moment, right? So at this point, she was deemed as a sick person. So no slave master wanted her in a way, which in that world is dangerous because if you're not helping, you're hurting. So that's like basically signing your death certificate. I mean your death ticket. So because of that, she feared of being sold away to somebody even worse than what she had before. She ran away, and she ran away and came back numerous of times. In 11 years, she saved over 300 people. So I must give love to that type of courageous act because most people today don't have an ounce of that. Everything is self inflicted. So that's my
Facts.
first person. That's my first person I want to speak on.
Facts, man. That's
That was,
facts.
that was, that was pretty great.
Yeah.
Both of you guys. So I'm doing these in a specific order. They go from I'm not gonna say minor to major, but it grows each time around. So honestly, my first icon is Prince, the musician. Prince wrote and produced all his songs. So I'm not. I'm a fan of music, but to imagine somebody laying down the drums, laying down the guitar, laying down the bass, and being in rhythm with that, that's got to be a special gift. I mean, not only that, I
Yeah.
mean, he gave us some great songs. I mean, some of them were sex driven, but some of them were they had meaning, to make you feel good, or when you was feeling sad, this reminds you of that song. But not only that, he wrote for other people, and he didn't want the credit. He used pseudonyms as for credits, and he didn't feel the need to have a spotlight on him. I guess it was more of a thing to say, I can make you a star, and I'm gonna prove it. Here, take this song. There's some pop songs, some I guess you would call them like rock type songs, all written by Prince. And maybe it didn't fit his mold, but he had a vision for who could be a good vessel for those songs. Not only that, Prince was a great humanitarian. He did a lot of things behind the scenes, not looking for credit. When Trayvon Martin was killed, tragically killed, he was one of the ones that donated to the family. I believe it slipped out years later that he was one of the donors to Spike Lee to help complete the Malcolm X movie.
Mm.
So just those two, there's got to be countless more humanitarian things that he did, and he was genuinely truly an artist. We used to talk about, oh, he freaky, he wearing women panties, but he was still your bitch in a heartbeat. He was still charismatic, doing feminine things. But that not really was what he was. I mean, he loved to play basketball. He was on the basketball team. He 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 was a very passionate person. He had a gift that he gave to the world, and that was through music, and also through his humanitarian acts, which was great. So I was like, you know what? I don't care if they make fun of this when I first said it, but I'm like, that's how really I feel about Prince and what he did as a person. He had a gift. So yeah, that's my first person.
One thing, Eric, hold on. Is he from Chicago? Where is he from? Where's Prince from?
Minnesota.
Minnesota. Okay, okay.
Yes.
Well, I don't think
And
mine gonna. I'll go ahead, Roy. Go
no, I'm sorry, I was clearing my throat. I'm sorry.
ahead. Okay. All right. I don't think mine is gonna be as like well, probably not as iconic, but I think he's a very uh influential person to our society today, and nobody really knows about him. But David Nelson Crossway Jr. If you don't know, that's the first black mechanical engineer. A lot of people consider him that. And then every day you go touch your thermostat, or you look up, you see duct work in a building. That's all him. He wrote the standard for heating and cooling. And in the times he was it was 1898. You know, first HVAC system, Rockefeller Center. He designed that, in which he didn't get credit for all his patents, which are 39 of them, until 1970, 71. So that man is very influential, and he helped teach other people who look like us, you know, heating and cooling, thermodynamics. He helped all that with us. He owned over 119 patents that he didn't get credit for until later in his life. So that man is very influential to us and our society, and it's still get used today. He wrote the standard for heating and cooling, and they use it all over the world today. So that's just awesome. That's something I wanted to throw out there for y'all. Didn't know.
No, Brandon, just
That's nice.
understand
Yeah,
there's no he doesn't have to be famous. It's all about
yeah.
what they mean to you. And I didn't know that.
Mm.
So I'm glad you
Yeah,
shared
me.
that.
Yeah, that was good, man. I appreciate that. What's his name again? So I can bring it in my
David
mind.
David Nelson Crossway.
David Nelson.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's back to me.
Just just type in the first black mechanical engineer. He'll pop up.
Yeah, I'll do it later. So so my first one, of course, was Harriet Tubman. So I'm gonna go down timeline. So um, I know we spoke about like black people being I guess depressed and not having much. I know to me there's key things that we need as a society, as community, and we need good schooling, good health care. But the biggest thing we need is financial. It don't got to be financial freedom, but some type of finances that we can all like succumb to, right? And those are major for me. So my next person was you moved down timeline was O.W. Gurley. Are you guys familiar with that name?
No, it
Yeah.
sounds.
O.W. Oh,
No,
you
I'm
gonna
not.
know. You gonna know. So
I,
so so
I
and
don't want to cut. I want to cut
yeah.
you off, but I thought you were gonna say old dirty
Old dirty
bastard.
bastard, me too.
Yeah, no,
Baby, I like it.
no, it's it's funny because like he actually likes to go by initials. Like he didn't want to say his real name because he was at that time it was important and people wanted to like get at him. But so O.W. Gurley is the guy who created Black Wall Street, right? So he started in the early 1900s when the government had finally did a peace treaty with the Cherokee Indians. I wouldn't even call it a peace treaty. They actually like bought their land back at cheap, which makes basically like I don't know how they finessed that, but anyway, during that time they had Oklahoma land grab, and they literally like shot a gun, and people raced to like go acquire land, right? And OW and his wife had acquired 40 acres, right? And from it was the northern part of I think Tulsa, Oklahoma. And if you guys don't know what transpired and what happened, so he built it up 40 blocks. He built it up with black businesses, restaurants, schools, everything. He started to build it up. He wasn't the only one, but he started it. Like it was his plan. It was his image, and it was all torn down. 1921 when I think his name is Dick Woodley or Woodland, young black boy. They say touched a girl in the elevator, right? And so they jailed this young black kid, and this at this time multimillionaire because he has Black Wall Street. He him and a couple like maybe 100 people, black people, went down to the jail to protect the kid because there's a mob of people coming to like want to drag him out of jail and hang him, right? So the story about OW, like the fact that him being on his high horse, he still came down to try to help a kid. He didn't have to, right? So all my people like resemble each other as far as they trace, right? And the fact that this millionaire reached down to come help a kid and also help bring financial stability to all the black community is just another person who I really like because at this time when we have a lot of things going on with DEI and people not working, we're gonna need something in place, right? And then which is gonna lead to my third guy, but O.W. Gurley, I think he's very vital to society. That mindset is rare, and we need it again. And that's it.
Hey, I just want to say that is one story I always found sad. It's just like the Emmett Till story to be
Yeah, very
lied
sad.
on, and then the woman come out later in the same story and say she didn't tell the truth. But in that instance, 400 black people died because of that one lie.
Four
And
hundred
that,
died. I think like 700 got injured.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's just sad. It's
Yeah.
fucked up, but that's sad.
Yeah. I just want to add one more thing because just remember. I'm not sure how true it is, but they say that's the first time that America used airplanes because according to the stories, bombs was dropped on Greenwood, Oklahoma. And to have airplanes with bombs, it sounds like something like with some type of authority, you know? Yeah,
They
that's it.
called in the National Guard
Yeah,
to
you
do
see?
that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's 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 crazy right there.
that's great.
And
That's
that
scary.
makes you think because at that time and Black Wall Street eclipsed today's Wall Street. and at
Mhm.
that time it eclipsed. It was worth billions. They would
Yep.
skilled labor, everything. They had their own community.
Everything.
That's sad, man. But definitely inspiring, man. Definitely inspiring. So I think people should all look into that story. Shows what happened
Yes,
when we unify.
yes, I agree. And Jeremy, I just want to give you props.
What's up?
So far you're knocking it out the park. I mean, the Harriet Tubman thing. I remember hearing that story about her getting hit upside the head and being
Yeah.
narcoleptic. But this was back in grammar school, and you kind of brought that back. But yeah, great choice. Uh, they made great sacrifices for us, and the person that I'm going to speak on next made great sacrifices too. Uh, he didn't, suffer a lot like the people that you mentioned, but who I want to talk about is Jackie Robinson,
Mm.
who broke the color barrier in baseball. Great baseball player in the Negro leagues, and somehow, some way, they wanted to take a chance on this black man. But yet, just imagine how many names he was called during the game. Uh, just imagine him getting hazed by his own teammates, not being inclusive. Maybe, I don't know, he probably wasn't allowed to travel with him. He had to find his own way to the games or whatever. But Jackie Robinson basically broke the color barrier. And what came with that is the abuse he probably had to take, probably getting underpaid. Again, the probably getting death threats,
Hmm.
and just in general, just imagine back in that time, just being an average black man, but here you are, a black man that's showing some of the best players up, and that's not that's frowned upon. So I think about all the stuff that he went through, and persevere. He could have easily given up, like, man, baseball ain't this serious,
Yeah.
but he fought on, and I want to think him breaking the color barrier in baseball helped break the color barriers in other sports as well.
Yep.
They might have had to go through the same thing, but they found value in what we can do. They talk about the NFL and the NBA now is majority black. You know, we got black players in hockey. We're not afraid to say, hey, I like this. This is interesting. I can go pro. It
Yeah.
just think about everything that we have a luxury of doing right now with no recourse. How somebody had to break that barrier, where and whatever repercussions they had to suffer. You know, uh, getting fire set on your front porch or whatever, or just. Do you remember the little kid? I think they call him the Alabama Six, where they integrated the school. They had to be
Yeah.
walked in
Mhm.
by the National Guard. Could you
Yeah.
imagine that? All you want to do is get an education. Now you
Mhm.
had some little young ones, they were about 7 or 8, but there was one, she looked at about 11 or 12. And I still remember the picture. I remember used to see it in the jet. She was wearing these black sunglasses and she was getting escorted in by the National Guard. All they wanted was an education. They just wanted to learn. They wanted the same opportunity that everybody else was getting. And I'm sure they were tugging on her hair, putting gum in her hair or whatever. But you know what? She showed up the next day. And I think, not to say baseball or Jackie Robinson did that, but as far back this is what I can see where barriers were really broken, where it was really in the spotlight, and what he had to go through just to make it acceptable for anybody to play baseball now. So yeah, that
Elroy,
yes.
I just want to say, I'm not sure if you're aware, but have you seen that movie called 42 with
No, I
Chadwick
haven't.
Boseman? Check
Uh,
it out.
so
Check it
I
out.
want to watch that, and I was going to mention another movie later. I was going to ask you guys, had you seen Hidden Figures?
No, I haven't.
Who's in Hidden Figures? Who is that?
Taraji P Henson, Kevin Costner.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet. Yeah, I want to see that. I haven't seen
Put that on your list. Definitely gonna watch. I was definitely gonna watch it this weekend, so I'll probably sneak in 42 as well. But yeah, and we could talk about them as well. In one instance, there was the colored bathroom was like a half a mile for her. So she had to go. There's this one scene in the movie. He's like, "Hey, you disappear every day for about 40 minutes. What the hell you been doing?" She's like, "Well, the only colored bathroom is about a half a mile away. So I
Oh
gotta
yeah,
go there." And then
I've seen that. Great movie.
he takes it back to one of the whites only. He said, "Now it's a anybody's, washroom." But so yeah, Hidden Figures, and yeah, I'm gonna definitely check out 42 this weekend.
All
Brandon, number
right.
three.
I, for me, one thing I say is about us as black people. There aren't a lot of us with great, strong passion for something, and there were a lot of great leaders in the 50s, 60s, 40s, even 70s. But this leader was very influential and very uh, good at motivating people and getting people to join with each other and show being unified. Even was able to get gang members to get unified in Chicago, which is a very difficult place. And I'm sure y'all probably know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Fred Hampton.
Yep.
Amazing, amazing leader. To be only 21 at the time of his murder, all the things he accomplished in that short time span. Getting a Rainbow Coalition to come together. And I know when people hear Rainbow today, they like, oh, that's some other stuff. But no, there were people out here, even white activists, out there fighting for the same cause to get black people, you know, liberated. Just, it's just, looking at his story, it's just sad to see that a black person was involved in taking him down. Will O'Neill, always be famous and known as the snitch. But but his story is just powerful to me because he was able to go in those circles with gang members and get them to, you know, call a truce and come together and protect the neighborhoods of Chicago, educate us, teach us, having the Black Panthers teach us what about weaponry, guns, our rights, skills, carpentry, plumbing, all the things that come from like Rosewood, the skills that were back in those times people had. Now getting that up and just to see that from him is very influential to me as well because it's like to see a leader like that, somebody so passionate about it. It's not phony, not fake, none of that. He stood for something, and we don't have too much of that today in our own community, and which is sad to see. Looking back in older times, like we need people like that out here. And then it's not to say that we need to be led, but it's nice to have people out here who stand for something. Because there's too many of us out here that don't stand for nothing. They just want to have the switch and be gangsters and throw up gang signs when it's more to life out here. And I just saw, and it really what made me think about Fred Hampton is I saw a kid today. They had a viral video of him getting sentenced, and on the title was "The Streets Lied to You." The streets lied to you. It ain't worth it. And that's what all these young kids out here need to hear. It ain't about being out in the streets. It's about being more than that. A lot more than that. Because it's only two outcomes in that life, and we all know that. But you have so much more out here if you just follow the right path and gain this knowledge, gain the skills in the books that you don't read, or the articles you ain't read. Gain that knowledge and we all become powerful. Follow Fred Hampton's path. That man read every day. That man talked to his people. That man was trying to educate his people. That's what we all should be doing. So that's my guy right there, Fred Hampton.
So Brandon, if you haven't seen it already, there's another good movie about him. Have you seen? Go watch Judas and the Black Messiah. It
Oh yeah,
it tells the story great. Like I love it. Have you seen it?
yeah, I seen it,
Excellent
Yeah,
and
movie.
excellent
that's
movie.
they they really played that scene to actual like people
Yep.
gave the survivors of that when the police came and raided and how they shot and everything to the room. They gave a excellent account of what actually happened. Like they were just shooting to shoot. Nobody actually shot back at them. They were just shooting through the room and killing Mark. What's the other guy? There was another Black Panther they killed. I think Mark Kark, I think his name is. And then they killed Fred Hampton, of course, in his sleep. So the man wasn't even awake. And then they taking pictures with the body. It was just, it showed how gruesome they are when it comes to us. In those times, it was terrible. And then of course, Will O'Neal, what was his reward for getting, you know, taking down Fred Hampton? He got a gas station.
Yep.
So it's funny that I was just talking about that last week with a buddy of mine, and it's funny how he infiltrated the organization. He said, "Give me something that can make me valuable, something that that they need." You know what that was?
Wow.
It was a car. Nobody had a car. They couldn't get around. So him having a car kind of got him into the group because he was their transportation to and fro. That's if that's true. I'm thinking like, wow, was we really, was it really that tough that just give him a car and he can just join a group? Is that what we needed? But yeah, great one, Brandon.
And so it's my goal. And Elroy, that's a good segue to my thing because if you see my angle from the beginning to now, you're gonna understand where I'm trying to go with it. And how I speak about like DEI and us not having our own and stuff like that, right? And and nowadays, I think I normally look at athletes, entertainers as a distraction, right? I think they pay a lot to distract the common people from how hard life is and the ploys that the masses, not the masses, the small minute do to us, right? And for someone who can have that spotlight but still in a way ignores it, and that person to me is I'm gonna give props to him is right now. Brand, he may laugh because I don't like his basketball game, but Jalen Brown. I want to give props to Jalen Brown because after his big, I think deal he made, maybe 200 and something million for five
Three
years or something like that.
three hundred
How much?
sixty five million.
365 million. He went public and said that he want to reopen Black Wall Street, right? And he didn't just say he wanted to do it. He actually like put in the works to actually do it. And as of right now, he started in Boston. Is what it's called like online right now, Boston Exchange. You can go there now and see that it's live and active. And what he's doing is he's interviewing like small businesses and like helping them grow and like actually like investing in black business. Like today he's doing it. And to the point where he tried to purchase a 5-story like main hub, like as a building in Boston. But I think it was Wells Fargo didn't sell to him. So he's still looking in that area to try to purchase like a building, right? And then he even moved forward. He opened up another one in Oakland, right? He using these prime areas that that have black people. So he's actually like putting down the footwork. He's making progress, right? And what I found unique about his business is if you look at his logo, he has is what's called Black Exchange, right? Or Oakland Exchange. He uses the X, and most people don't know. Like even myself today, I'm wearing the X today, and most people don't know it's a X 300 signatures. And X is significant because this was the signatures of our ancestors who were slaves and couldn't write their name because they have different names. So when they come up to a boat, they just get the pen and write X. So if you look at his logo, it may not mean this, but this is what I thought of when I seen it. He has the X as his logo, and the way he put it together, it reminded me of my X 300 signatures. So I just want to give props to Jalen to like putting down a foundation so we can grow from because in this climate of the world today, and everything's going on with businesses, DEI, like job scarcity, like all this stuff, we're gonna need some type of entity that we can grow from. And like I say, finances is one important thing. Like Elroy mentioned, the guy sold out Fred Hampton over a car. So so how is the community so bad that a car can take down a leader? You know what I'm saying? So I want to give props to Jaden because he making moves.
I want to show that picture.
Yep, yep.
Man, this,
Jalen Brown.
And ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say that this is unscripted. It's just how great minds think. We think as one, and that's how it's coming out. Totally unscripted, live, unedited, uncut. My final one is not person is not famous, uh, but to me, better than Superman, better than Batman, and person I want to talk about is my dad. My dad has always been a hard worker, and trying to instill the same values in me. I remember having to wake up early Saturday mornings, it was just to clean the house, and I'm like, I want to watch cartoons. That was my mentality. But and it started making sense. I still want to watch cartoons, so I'll start cleaning up on Friday nights. So I don't have to wait. I can wake up and just make my bowl of cereal. My chores are done. Or rake the leaves, cut the grass early in the day. And I was complaining like, okay, I'll get to like do it now. And that taught me that you get up and take care of your business first. That's how I am on Saturdays. Get up and take care of your business first, and you got the rest of the day to goof off. You can do whatever you want. Just get the business out the way. Uh, my father, working, real humble. Didn't make a lot, but he made enough to pay for a mortgage, pay for the light bill, and keep clothes on our back. I lived fortunate to live in a two-income household, but yet it's still, we still fell on hard times. We weren't rich, but we made it happen. And my father also taught me always keep a stash. Don't let your lady know about you because she'll be willing to spend it on the most meaningless thing. And it's true.
It's true.
So when that real emergency comes, he can be like, yeah, this is that case where I got to hit the stash. Not, I got to get a birthday present for Jasmine or whoever the fuck or whatever. He made the hard choices. He was the one at the end of the day that everything pretty much fell on him. And he instilled those values in me, and he was real hard on me. I would do things, and there was a point where I thought my father didn't like me. I really did. But one day I said something, and he said, I'm just trying to teach you how the world is because they don't give a shit about you. I care about you. I want this to be nothing to you when it happens to you out there in the world. But this is what the world is going to do to you. They don't care about you. If it comes down to them eating and you starving, guess what? You probably going to miss a meal. Not everybody's your friend. Every lesson I learned, I either learned it the easy way or the hard way. It's like he would tell me stuff and I wouldn't listen, and then until it really happened to me, that it would resonate. I remember as a kid, I didn't like what I was eating. Whatever, I took maybe two or three bites off it, and I threw it in the garbage. Oh man, he raised holy hell. He was like, you could have put that in the refrigerator, wrapped it up, and you could have ate it another time, or somebody else could have ate it. Don't be throwing that food away. And I'm like, yeah, away. So fast forward to when I was married, my wife already had kids, and I had fed the youngest one, and here he is. He took two or three bites off his food, and then I saw him get up. I'm washing dishes and everything, and he throws the food in the garbage. And I got mad. I was red as shit. I was on fire. But it was that one moment when I was like, and my father used to always had his phrase, wait till you grown. And I calmed down. And I didn't get mad at him, but I explained to him that it could have been wrapped up. Somebody else could have ate it, or he might have wanted it later. So all my life lessons, all the great things that make me who I am come from my dad. And growing up, my dad, real tall guy, shit, he's still taller than me. He was like Superman. He was huge. Now I look at him now, he's a little older. He's 82 years old. And you know, he he's not standing up as tall, but he still gets around. I mean, and he's still keen on his senses. He's not losing it and everything. But I still see flashbacks of the man that he used to be when he was in his 30s or in his 40s or whatever. And to me, it's like Superman with kryptonite wrapped around his neck. He's not as fast as he used to be, but yet he's still my dad. And you know, I used to here's something dumb. I was one, well, not the only one. I think there was only other one other family with a full family on the block. But I always thought it was cool that the guys that just lived with their mother or didn't have a father in their life, I thought that was the coolest thing. And I never said it out loud verbally, but I was like, man, I wish my dad wasn't here. The dumbest fucking thing that I could conjure up in my head. Uh, my father's a great man. I love him to death. He's my hero. He's always been there for me when I needed him, and he gave me the hard lessons sometimes, and man, he was lethal with a belt. But that's why when we were discussing this, guys, I knew that I wanted him to be one of my heroes, and I think I kept saying he doesn't have to be famous, just somebody that's influential to you guys. And I guess I
Yeah,
just kept throwing that seed out there because I didn't want you to feel like you had to stick to who we saw on TV, whether
yeah.
it's your father, your uncle, your mother, your grandmother, somebody. You know, I wanted, and we did, and I think we all expressed who these people were influential to us, and how you guys talked about him was real passionate. But yeah, my dad's my ultimate hero.
So Brandon, go ahead and snip that, send it to Elroy to get to his father for his birthday. You know,
So
that's
Yeah.
my
what's up, bro.
dad, my dad does watch the podcast, so
Oh, for real.
I am
What's up?
going to say, Dad, you need to watch episode 35. Yeah, watch 35.
35.
Yeah, I think you'll like it. And you guys can't see me on camera, but as I talk about them, I'm kind of get teary eyed. So after I get off the phone, after this podcast, I'm gonna call them and tell them I love them because
Yeah,
man, yeah.
that's what's
All
up,
right.
bro. That's what's up.
Roy over there crying. With Barry Mello playing in the background.
Barry Manilow
Nah, I'm just playing.
at the Copa Cabana.
But hats off to you, Roy. That's no definitely, man, definitely inspiring, man. Definitely.
So
I
moving right along.
I think now it's time to discuss the gentleman's corner. We're gonna uh we're gonna play a little short video and then give
And
our
discuss it.
thoughts. Yeah. So here we go. Let me get it queued up for us. And then we gonna do what we did. Let's go and play our video.
Jeff, your style OG. We're gonna talk about how you can make your cologne last a lot longer. If you're new to the channel, we're releasing a video every day at 4 p.m. Eastern, discussing various men's lifestyle topics such as style, grooming, and dating. I invite you to subscribe and tap the notification bell and join us. And to my returning friends like Graylin Myers, salute. Now, just like a lot of you guys out there, I'm sure can attest to, being a cologne wearing man can get very costly. I'm talking about when you're spending anywhere from 20 to hundreds of bucks on the fragrances, the money adds up. That's why with today's video, I want to share with you a bunch of hacks that I've acquired over the years that help you get the most bang for your buck when wearing your colognes. Anywhere from making them last longer, just using them in creative ways. And without further ado, let's just get into the hacks. Now, first up on the list of ways to make that cologne last longer is to literally make the scent last longer. You do that by storing your colognes in a cool, dry place. You see, over time, heat and humidity breaks down your cologne, making it less potent. So if you're using a less potent scent, the rest of these hacks just won't work as well. Next up on the list of ways to make your cologne last longer is knowing the different concentrations of cologne when you're out buying your fragrances. Here's what I mean. Generally speaking, men's cologne come in two different concentrations. Eau de toilette, which is generally 5 to 10% perfume concentration, and eau de parfum, which is generally 10 to 20% concentration. Naturally, the eau de parfum has more perfume in it, and it will last several hours longer. Now, the only caveat, it's going to be a little more expensive, but it will last you longer. Next up on the list of ways to make your cologne last longer is knowing the optimal time to apply your cologne. That being right after you get out of the shower. And that's for two reasons. One, your pores will be more open, letting the cologne seep into your skin. And secondly, the moisture on your skin also helps lock in the scent. Speaking of moisture, brings us to the next hack to make your cologne last longer. And that's applying an unscented lotion to your skin before applying your cologne. Same theory here. Just like the moisture from the shower makes the scent lock in, so does the moisture from the lotion, making your cologne last longer throughout the day. Next up on the list of ways to make that cologne last longer is knowing where to apply the cologne. That being on your post points. What are post points? These are areas on your body that naturally emit heat that help diffuse the cologne all over your body throughout the day, making it last longer. Now, these post points include behind your ears, the base of your neck, your chest, wrists, and elbows. Only pick one or two and apply the cologne there, making it last longer. Speaking of post points, brings us to the next hack to make your cologne last longer, and that's apply Vaseline to the post points you plan on spraying your cologne to. The reason why this works is that the Vaseline works very well locking the scent in. So combining the locking of the scent with the radiating heat from the post point really makes your cologne last longer. Next up on the list of hacks to make that cologne last longer is the one to use when you know your cologne's not going to last throughout the day, but you want to reapply it without having to drag the whole bottle with you. Here's what you do. Take a couple of cotton balls, or what I use is these makeup removals. Not makeup removal for me, it's part of my skincare routine, don't get funny. However, spray a couple of these, drop them in a sandwich bag. Throw the sandwich bag in your book bag, briefcase, gym bag, reapply later on. Voila, your cologne lasts the rest of the night. Next up on our list of cologne wearing hacks is the one to use when you have a real strong cologne you love, but you don't want it to be overpowering that day. That's when I allow you to break one of my cardinal rules of applying cologne, and that's doing a spray in the air and walk through it. You can use that technique when you want to wear that potent cologne, but you want to tone it down just a little bit. Next up on the list of cologne wearing hacks is the one to use when you're almost out. You spray and nothing comes out of the bottle. No problem, we let nothing go to waste around here. Open the bottle up, pour what's in there in an unscented lotion bottle, apply that lotion. Voila, you use the last bit of the cologne in the bottle. Next up on the list of cologne wearing hacks is the way to come up with your own custom scent. You do that with a technique called layering. Here's how it works. If you're someone who has several different colognes, try a couple of them at the same time on your skin to see if they complement each other. If they do, give them a try, see how you like it. But here's what you want to do. Spray the stronger one first and then complement it with the lighter one. That way the stronger will power the lighter one. Now you have your own custom scent that nobody else has. And last but not least, for our final cologne wearing hack today is a subtle way to have your clothes and your towels smell amazing. That's by lining your dresser drawer with tissue paper or your linen closet. Apply a little cologne to it. That way when you put your clothes on and use your towels, they'll smell amazing. Okay.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. It's two hacks. I'm gonna try it immediately. So I'm gonna do the cotton ball one. Try that out. I'm gonna try the dresser linen one. I'm gonna try that out. And then the others one I already knew about. I already knew about the shower and stuff like that. And also the lotion bottle. I ain't think about that either. You know what I'm saying? Like if yours about to end or yeah, I like that was
You
nice.
can't get that spray out. Yeah.
Yeah, that was nice.
I
Those
think
good hacks.
I think the one for the dresser drawer, putting that lint in there, that was good. That's good. Make your clothes automatically smell like that. That's tight. I might use that one.
Yeah,
That's the one I know.
yeah, I'm gonna
Don't waste it on your sock drawer. Ain't nobody gonna be smelling your feet.
do that.
No, so do you guys? I mean, how often do you guys use cologne?
I only use it on like if I'm going out with the wife or so. I ain't really. I don't go to the club no more as a married man, so I can't. That's the only time I can really use.
I normally do it every day. It's just that I haven't got to my cologne just yet, but when I get back to it, yeah, I do it every day. I do a little bit of some. I have a go-to cologne, a daily one, then I have like a step out one. I have a couple of them, so I'm definitely gonna try this and see how it works out.
So I believe in threes as far as cologne goes. I got a summer scent. I got my go-to, which is kind of a fall scent, and I do got a third one as a favorite. I used to wear it every day to work, but I was just like, I work around a bunch of men. Why do I want them,
Yeah,
So I save it for the weekends, or if we're entertaining guests at work, not too heavy, but just some light scent, just to throw a little savoir faire out there. But yeah,
you you ain't got no that black dynamite. You
and I
can hit
got
the streets or
I got
the sheets.
I got Sex Panther. I got Sex Panther. So no, one of the scents, actually two of the scents are still being manufactured, but they're kind of old. No, it's not Brute by Fabergé or Stetson. One of them is Cold Black by Armani. Armani Cold Black. I love that one.
yeah,
It's not. So I got to go. I got to go to Perfume Mania to get
yeah,
that. They still manufacture it. And another one of my favorite scents is Rockaware 99. That's how long it's been out manufactured.
yeah.
I go to Perfume Mania and I can get that too. It has it's both of them are kind of like fall scents, so to say, but those are my main go-tos.
Yeah.
And my summer is Aramis Life, which I think is probably
See,
out of what.
no, I was just gonna say I don't have like a see everywhere. He's a professional. I don't
Yeah,
have no summer,
yeah.
winter, fall. I do
I
have it
just
like
got two
a day.
bottles.
I got a day-to-day go-to, and this is my go-to. I use Spice Bomb. Can y'all see that?
Yes.
Yeah, this my go-to Spice Bomb. It's
So how
for
did you
my
get put up
sins
on
is
it?
decent.
How'd you get put up on it?
Just trying it. Like I Googled like a lot of colognes, and I picked three of them, and I went into the store and I just tried it. I spray myself, and I just walk away. You know what I'm saying? Then I smell myself in the next 3 hours and see like if I like it. And that Spice Bomb for me, it was just hit. It was a hit. And I get complimented, so that's my everyday. You know what I'm saying?
So
Yeah,
here's a little fun fact that I picked up. Uh, you remember the Plaza on 95th Street in Weston? They used to have the mall used to be big. Now it's like a
mhm,
storefront type thing.
yeah,
They had a scent shop in the Plaza, and I went in there and I was looking for a scent for a young lady at the time, and I was just smelling them, and they had like a little jar of coffee beans, and what the coffee beans do once you smell the scent, you
yeah.
sniff the coffee beans to clear it up so that you can smell the other one without it being compromised by the previous one. So yeah, sniffing coffee
Yeah,
beans.
yeah, I follow you.
So yeah,
So
that was
Brandon, you got go to Brandon? Nah.
I ain't gotta go to. The only one I got is Versace. That's all I got. That's all I got.
no,
And long as it's long.
he ain't got Versace, he got Bosachi.
Look,
He
look,
got
long
it
as
at the
that boy,
swap meet.
long as that boy smell good, that's all that matters to me.
Yeah.
But like I say, I only use it when we go on dates. So
So
yeah.
what do you apply? How do you apply it? I don't think we talked about that.
I apply wrist and I go behind the ear.
Okay.
My current go to with that. I rub wrist behind the ear. But I am gonna try to I am gonna try the neck, see how that go. Add that
Mhm.
in there.
Well, that's what I
So
do. I
it's
swear across the chest because I figured in that moment when I'm giving hugs, that's where that's where the ladies where their face lands, and so they could be like, "Ooh, you smell so good."
Roy out here pimping.
It's like no, that's Irish Spring.
yeah.
Mm.
All right, I think this is a good segue to go into our affirmations. Who wanna start first? Cause I got three of them.
I
Okay,
got one. So
I
so
got
I so
one
I
too.
got one. Okay, go
Go
ahead,
ahead.
Roy. You go
No,
first then. You
you
go.
go.
No.
Beauty
So
before age before
are we
beauty.
also doing are we doing fun are we doing fun facts too? Or
No,
just
no, fu-
affirmation?
Just
no
the
fun
affirmations.
facts. Yeah, just affirmation.
So mine actually coincided, but it's cool. So my affirmation is challenges are opportunities for growth and improvement. So because I say that, I'm gonna give my fun fact. I just have to. Um,
Okay.
I didn't know. Um, I mean, it makes sense, but I didn't know that birds cannot fly without air resistance. I didn't know that. Like wind resistance, I didn't know the birds couldn't fly without it. So without any wind resistance, like they literally could not fly. And that made me think of like an affirmation. You know what I'm saying? Like when you think things is hard and the challenges come up before you. You know what I'm saying? When you go through it, you just bettering yourself. So challenges are opportunities for growth and improvement. So just go through it. Yeah,
Okay.
I like
that's
Uh,
that.
it.
I like that.
yeah. Mine's is life is a highway, and life is composed of many lanes, and there's one dedicated to you.
Mm, I like that.
The life lane doesn't require you to look left and right, but it does require you to look ahead of you and sometimes behind you.
Mm.
Stay in your lane because not everything is made for you. If somebody's wearing a cologne, it might not be for you. Your body chemistry might not interact with it well. Fashion, just anything. Stay in your lane and worry about you. Even if you're doing something different than everybody else, you're doing what makes you happy and you're putting your effort into it. So stay in your lane. Just because somebody's doing something, you can give it a try, but don't force yourself to continue to do that activity just because somebody's else is doing it. Me, I'm I won't say I'm a loner, but I like to do things on my own. And in effect, so I've talked about our annual football trip. I usually go down there maybe a day or two before them just to do what I want to do, which might be weird and boring or not appealing to them. Like for example, when we went to LA, got down there, off my Hertz points, I uh I rented a Mustang for 2 days. Convertible top. Here I am on a freeway. I went to Watts. I went to Inglewood. I went to Compton. I went to Randy's Donuts. I went everywhere I wanted, almost everywhere I wanted to go, time permitting, just to do what I wanted to do. So that when the fellas showed up, I just like, all right, what are we doing? I don't care because I already did what I wanted to do, what made me happy. I went to I wanted to go to the Motion Picture Museum. Didn't get a chance to go. So that's on my list to just probably just fly down there for a day and just go to the museum, check out a nice restaurant because that's the type of thing I like to do. But stay in your lane and do you. Do what makes you happy. Don't, fall into the crowd and start doing things that are uninteresting to you because you're not really going to put your all into it. You're just going to be a part timer doing it.
Yeah.
So don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Do you? Look ahead. Look at the lane ahead that's designated for you. And when I say look behind you, sometimes you got those people that want to jump in your lane that ain't supposed to be in your lane. So you gotta watch your back and your front. So yeah, life's a highway. Stay in your lane.
I like it.
I like that. I like that. Now I got three, and they all from three different people. My first one is from my brother Meech. I call him not the Demetrius Flanny, but my brother-in-law Meech. Definitely I call him Big Bro. It say you can work or you can make excuses. You can't do both. And basically that's saying you got work to do, and then nothing should be stopping you from doing your work. So you can't make excuses. Get the work done, and that's just plain and simple. And the other one come from Gandhi, and it just definitely a powerful message here. The universe always responds to the energy you give it. So be careful with what you give it. So if you put negative energy out there, you're talking negative about yourself, you're talking negative about your life. It's gonna respond. You want to be in a negative environment, you're gonna be in a negative environment. But you control your space. You control your mind. You control your environment. You are in control. So get that positive energy. Talk positive about yourself. Talk positive about your life. Even if you ain't got no job, even if you're homeless, you can make it. Just put that positive energy out. My last one is definitely from my one of my historical figures, Fred Hampton, and it basically says, if you dare to struggle, you you dare to win. If you dare not to struggle, then damn it, you don't deserve to win. So basically, it's saying take the risk. You got a dream out here. Whatever it is, you're gonna struggle, but no, you gonna get your win because you're gonna go through that struggle, and it's okay to struggle. And whatever it is, it's gonna be a little pain to it. A little, yeah, whether you want to break it down to something simple as a workout. You doing 50 push-ups, it's gonna be some struggle. It's gonna be some struggle. But then you gonna get that 50 push-ups. You're gonna do 100 push-ups. It's gonna be some struggle. You're gonna get, but you're gonna get that 100 push-ups. That's your reward in the end. So don't be afraid to struggle a little bit to get what you deserve. That's my three.
Brandon, if you may, 'cause that was my favorite one of today. Repeat that affirmation.
The Fred Hampton one.
Yeah, Fred Hampton. Yeah, repeat that one.
If you dare to struggle, you dare to win. If you dare not to struggle, then damn it, you don't deserve to win.
I like.
Dope.
All right, fellas, I think we had another amazing show. Definitely discussed a lot. I think we definitely inspired some people because, man, we gave some gems out here.
And
Definitely some.
the
Yeah.
affirmations, the Black history. Yes, I'm sure we inspired,
And we definitely educated too today.
educated too.
Yeah. Yeah. So and you were entertained because Roy cut his camera off with his you didn't see none of his draws or nothing. So but,
And it would be the day I got a clean pair on. Damn.
Definitely like, comment, and subscribe, man. I hope that everybody listening to us, our audience, had a good time out here, man. And then we enjoy you if you continue to watch us. You're going on this journey with us. We're improved from day one to now, so definitely like, comment, and subscribe. Any parting words, gentlemen?
Man, just another great episode with some great guys. Had a great time. I like the Gentlemen's Club. It was we had a little savoir faire, a little class. You know, definitely somebody is taking heed of what we're saying and saying to themselves that makes a lot of sense. So we might not hear, and then maybe down the line we might hear, it's because of you guys I did this, or I know how to do that. And we're gonna continue with the gentleman's corner. We're gonna come with different fresh perspectives from the OG himself, or anybody else out there in the YouTube land that's giving great advice. And wow, just again, great episode. Number 35. We're growing.
Yeah.
Just a great feeling. Yep, that's right. You got that right.
For the first time. For the first time. All right, any parting words, Jeremy?
Jeremy had to step away.
Yeah, step away. Nah, you know me, bro. Just I appreciate everybody. Just like, comment, subscribe. It was a good one. And until next time, that's
So the
it.
reason the reason Jeremy had to blink his screen for a minute, you heard him say earlier that's his wife's laptop. So he was going through her emails and so that's
No,
good.
I don't want to see
Lucy,
nothing.
you'll have some explaining to do.
All right, to our audience out there, definitely like, comment, and subscribe. No, we keep saying it. We want to hear from y'all. Hope y'all enjoy. Thank you.